All right. I don't know if anyone else has this issue. I jokingly call it a gift. It's not. I'm kind of a worst case scenario kind of gal, where whatever the given situation is, I can pretty quick think of the worst case scenario. And then in my mind, I'm kind of starting to try and figure out how I can avoid that. Don't do it. I do not recommend it. It's so much work and it robs you of peace and joy. So I'm working on it. But I did think about it the other day that I don't remember why this came to mind. Again, is we don't try and explain it. But I had thought of like, well, what if in the middle of the night I had to like flee for some reason and I'd just be in my like embarrassing kind of old worn out pajamas. This is not an outfit that I want if for some reason I can't get back to my house. Like there's, floods and fires and whatever. Okay. And you can't get back to your stuff. Well, I'm 6 feet tall. It's not like can be like, here, you can borrow my pants. Here, I've got stuff for you to borrow in the meantime. So I was problem solving in my mind this unnecessary scenario that's never going to happen. That maybe I should pack a bag, like a small bag that's at the entry points that could be quickly grabbed, and then I'd have like an outfit or two or such a waste of time. Why? I'm embarrassed that you know this about me. But anyways, it got me thinking about one such night many moons ago when I rushed out of the house in the middle of the night. So I was living with 3 roommates at the time. We were all like college graduates, like recent college grads. And I was working as a nurse, and I think 2 of the girls had boyfriends, and then 2 of us did not. So there was always kind of this ongoing, like, oh, where are we going to meet some cute guys and whatever. So one of the roommates was friends with the neighbor lady, who I believe was a widow, Marge, and so she kind of checked in on her from time to time and stuff like that. Well, I get woken out of a deep, like multi-layer sleep because the roommate comes in, is like, oh my gosh, Marge is in trouble, she needs help. And I'm like, like trying to wake up, and I'm like, what, what are you saying? And she says she can't breathe, and I'm like, she can't breathe. I don't investigate or question any further. I just go call 911. So somebody calls 911, and then I'm like trying in the dark and the stupor to try and pull myself together enough that we can go walk over to Marge's house. We kind of lived on a hill, so we had to go up. So we get to Marge's house before, any help arrives, and Marge is fine. She looks completely fine. She's sitting in her chair, and I'm like, why did you tell me that she couldn't breathe? And she's like, I don't know. I mean, like she called and was like, can you come over? I could use some help. And I was like, well, okay, that's not the same as not breathing. That's just like a little out of, never mind. Well, we hear the sirens and we're like, oh, this is embarrassing. Okay, now help is showing up, but we look out and it's not EMS. I don't know why, but they sent the firemen. Oh, yeah. And it's hilarious because we're all, and so the 2 roommates that have boyfriends are looking at the 2 of us who don't, and they're like, oh yeah, you guys are going to impress. And then they really were pushing me. They're like, you got to impress them with your nurse skills. La, la, la. Okay. So yeah, I'm always like, well, hey, welcome. So I'm a nurse and I've taken her vitals and her pulses and her respirations are, and oh my gosh. So I was all confident, like, yeah, this is this, and they were hot firemen. I mean, I don't know why they always are. I mean, they're not always, but there's a lot of them. So anyways, so let's rewind to my nighttime routine. So I'm not really much of a girly girl, and I don't have a lot of great tips for skincare and whatnot. So my roommates schooled me on all of this, and so one of them was very insistent at the time that vitamin E oil would make your face glow and you would look young forever. And I mean, I don't know. Did it work? Don't answer that. Um, So the nighttime routine was that you washed your face and then you globbed this greasy vitamin E oil like literally all over your face, like shine for days. And it takes like all night to absorb back into your skin. So because of that, like your hair will stick all over your face. So you pulled all your hair up and it was like here. It wasn't a cute, messy bun. No, it was just like dumb, like right here, to keep all the grease. Okay. So there was that, number one. So I was a grease pit. I mean, like just slicker than slick, grease pit. Um, Also, in the mad rush, I did put on shoes, later figured out they were different shoes. So the right and left, not even close, not like two different white shoes, or it was two completely different shoes. And then, when your mom gives you like, weird Christmas gifts that she got, I don't know, TJ Maxx probably. Am I allowed to say that? So it was a purple, like bright purple terry cloth bathrobe. I mean, I didn't even use bathrobes. I don't know. I wasn't really into the bathrobe thing, but for some reason, she gave me this bathrobe and I occasionally used it. And I think the thought was, I don't have a bra on, so instead of taking the time to put a bra on to go rescue Marge, I'm just going to put this bathrobe on, which I was sweating in, by the way. The terry cloth is like heavy. Okay, so I've got this bright purple terry cloth. I've got mismatched shoes, grease, this weird bun thing, and I went through the whole incident. And in my mind, does this ever happen? Like in your mind, you're like, I look so good right now. I don't even know why I thought that. Why did I think I looked good at the So it wasn't until they all left and we put Marge to bed and I went back and went into the bathroom and was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I looked this bad at night, because you don't normally see yourself. And yeah, that was super embarrassing. I don't know. So I thought of that. Do you think it would be helpful to have like a to-go bag by the door? It's not my worst idea. Better to need and not have and not, yeah, you know what I mean.